Hi, everyone. Welcome to the digital experience team iteration planning video. We'll go over what we intend to do for the next 2-week period. First up, I believe, is Lauren. She is on vacation this week. I can vocalize some of the work here. She has customer web revamp. Maybe I shouldn't have vocalized hers. Customer reference pages, and that's broken down into a few different pieces, enabling the reference template in www, and then building it with the new template, and then enabling it in Netlify CMS. So she'll get started on that when she's back next week. And then next up is Tina.
Thanks. I'll be working on wrapping both badge issues, so the homepage brag wall and the security and compliance block. I'm working on those bits with Laura, but I'll be more involved in finalizing which badges we can and cannot use. I'm also gonna get my head deeper into one of our OKRs, which is the homepage personalized feature block. So just kind of planning for MVC1, and I'm gonna start doing some competitive analysis to see what out there exists that's similar to what we wanna do, if anything. And lastly, I'm gonna start a doc to start some documentation for cards for Slippers documentation. That's it. Up next is Laura again.
Thank you. I'll be working on finishing the compliance badges that Tina just mentioned, and some install page carryover back and forth that's been going on from last iteration. And then I'll start on the homepage frag wall. And I've set aside time to fiddle with our OneTrust implementation. We got started on it last iteration. There's some tweaks that we need to iron out, and then a lot of testing that'll need to go into it. And then to do the enterprise journey on our enterprise or for our large customers, we're going to be doing some internal stakeholder interviews with some of the sales team, the TAMs, and whoever else has any interest in telling us how our large customers are purchasing. And I didn't write this down, but like Tyler said, I'll probably set aside a point to do some 360 review process, because I've been given a handful of people to do for that. Next is Nathan, and I think Tyler was maybe gonna, okay.
So Nathan is going to help me out with, we're migrating the first page to go to the new core marketing site will be enterprise. So Nathan's going to grab that once I've got some of the stuff set up for him. And then he said, it looks like he set aside 10 points, or I imagine just the rest of the sprint working on defining and creating the grid system for Slippers UI, which is super exciting. So thanks, Nathan. Feel better.
Okay, next. So I've got some user research coming up. There's this survey that Laura's putting out. Was it Laura? I don't know. Yeah. Thank you for finally taking that. That was something that was created 9 months ago. I'm so stoked it's finally happening. And it's actually a perfect time because we're going to be looking into the buyer journey. So hopefully we'll get more insights on what's going on there. So probably just have to parse through some data and whatnot. We also have Niall working on some gathering some analytics for us. So again, just kind of keeping an eye on things, and if he needs anything from us, we'll help him out there. Laura mentioned we're doing stakeholder interviews. So I just set a little bit of time aside to help work on the script for those. And I've also got this design issue for bringing the customer logos above the fold on our homepage. And of course, just a little bit of time for those 360 reviews. Tyler.
Hello. So yeah, core marketing site is sort of my big thing for the iteration. So I got permissions on the repo, and there's like probably a day's worth of like setup. I don't have a specific issue because it's one of those things where it's like I have to like get started before I really know what's up with it, and then I'll just sort of figure it out as I go along. But I did, there's a link to the Epic with the things that I can anticipate on it. So, you know, integrating Slippers UI, which we've demoed out. And so doing kind of the same thing, setting up the initial CI config for it. I'm going to work with Chad on that. And that'll just give us a place to like do work and see how it's going. And then there's a deployment configuration, which is the complex piece of like, how do we take these two repositories and like make them like, you know, render the same website in production. And then I picked up a a just do item from Michael, which we talked about this forever ago, is we have a staging environment, or I think we removed a staging environment, but we didn't remove the last staging site that was pushed to it. And so I think we just need to open a ticket to do it. And it's one of those things that it's super quick to do. It ended up it's always been low priority, so I'm just gonna do it. So probably like 30 minutes. And then the rest is 360 reviews. Gonna block off time to do that. I've done 2 of them so far. And then I'm just assuming I'm keeping it light because the new core marketing site is totally new, and I'm sure stuff will come up that can't anticipate. So I'm just going to keep a little bit of agility there, which I have found to be a useful approach for the work. And up next is Javi.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm working on Google Analytics instrumentation requests for goals and events. I'm not sure if we have this, and I was thinking about this as we were chatting earlier, but if we don't have a handbook page that talks about data attributes, we should probably add one. And I think that will just come in with related stuff that will come up. So the next thing I have is 3 points to the Marketo resource type in form start, and it's just a request that we got months ago. So this is just kind of a just do. I have 2 points here for card iteration stuff that has been just being dragged along as other things have been kept. So I put 2 points there just to get it knocked out. I have 1 point to display icons and storybook iteration. Again, I was running into issues where it's things were being displayed differently. Either some icons were 16 pixels, 24, some had fills defined already. And I'm just going to go ahead and just display whatever monstrosity is there. Because I think that trying too much to fiddle with existing SVGs will just send me down a rabbit hole and could possibly break some of our components. So let me not do that. I have 2 points to onboards to the docs repo. I imagine that within the epic that Steven and I are working on, I will be the person who will be executing the change. So I just wanted to get into that repository and see what things I need to learn, if any, and how it's related to our current stack. That's it for me. Up next is Steven.
Thank you. First on mine is we've reformatted the original issue, which was initially around adding links to the docs. So we had a kickoff meeting last week with some of the partners on that, and we've changed it now to increase trials and stages adopted through docs. So the next steps on that are planning next steps, trying to figure out what we want to target for that, working with some partners on the vision for that, and then also collaborating with other teams that are doing work that's related to that too, around tracking within docs as well, and see if we can use any of the data around that. I've added 4 points as well for the design system iteration. With myself and Nathan are working on that, trying to figure out what the vision is on that, and then wrapping up the features page for the launch with Nathan as well, just doing some QA on that, and then also wrapping up the topics landing page too. And I am the last one, so there you go.
Great, and thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.